Okay, next up we have identify the idea. If you have seen other tests like IELTS or Cambridge or TOEFL, you see that there were some questions that they ask you, for example, which paragraph includes this information, or which paragraph refers to this, or choose the heading. This is kind of similar to those kind of questions. So you need to sort of read this passage and then find the best idea. Something that's the gist of that paragraph, that represent that paragraph the best. Summarize it, in other words, the best. This is how I recommend that you guys do it. Do not look at these, okay? Do not look at this. First thing you need to do is to read this passage once or twice, depending on how fast you can read, and then think of a quick summary of this for yourself. Remember, in Duolingo we cannot take notes, so that's not an available option, but what you can do in your head, think of what summarized this as the best. And once you're ready, you have a summary in your head. This is something you should practice a lot. Go read the options one by one and see which one fits them best. Do not read them all together, it will confuse you. What do you need to do? Read the first one. Do you think it's an answer, yes or no? If it isn't, if it's a yes for you, just keep it as a best option. No, maybe. So now you come back and you check those options that, for example, you're thinking that these two can be the answer. You read them one more time and you see, do they talk about the entire passage, or they're just simply too general or too little? This way you can make the best choice. Again, I'm not gonna show you the answer because I'm gonna ask you to do something special at the end of the video. So remember, we're not looking for exact keywords, we're looking for a sentence that summarizes this passage in the best way possible. As always with options, do not look for an answer first, look for possible answers. The two of them are usually more likely to be the answer, and then focus on those two, see which one is a better summary of the paragraph. Title the passage. So this is similar to the previous question. The difference are the options. We do not have a summary in form of a statement. We have headings. Remember, headings, think of why we choose headings. We choose headings to show the purpose of a paragraph. It's because we want to give a first idea of the paragraph. So same approach. We read the whole text once or twice. We make a choice. We think of a possible heading for this, and then we go for. Remember, one thing that really helps you is to make sure that your choice represents the whole paragraph, not just part of it, not just one part of it. For example, you see the word John. Oh, okay, paragraph is about John. No. It must kind of, again, the title must represent the whole passage. Listen and respond. This is probably one of the more difficult parts of the test. You will see a piece of information first, and then you start the conversation, and then you hear some prompts, and then you have to choose options that are given to you. Click next, then you hear something else from the recording, and then you give an answer. If you make a mistake, the test will show you that your answer was a mistake, so you can be careful for your future responses. Listen carefully and find the answer that makes the most sense in terms of the flow of the conversation. Think of what is the speaker looking for, why are they asking you such questions, and try to answer them in a way that your answer is relevant to what they said. There will be a summary question, so remember to kind of keep the story in your mind. This part requires a lot of practice, and as always, don't forget the amount of time that is given to you. Okay, another writing, speaking integrated question. In this part, we have to listen to a conversation, and we have to listen to a conversation, and we have 75 seconds to summarize that conversation. This is the conversation that we heard in the previous part, where we kind of answered. If we made wrong choices, that's okay. Don't worry about it. That section is gone. But remember the story. And when you want to summarize it, quickly remember the 5 W's. All right. what, when, where, who, and why. So these 5 W's can help you. For example, who was talking? Who were the people? Who was talking to who? To whom? What were they talking about? Why are they saying this or that? Where are they? When is this happening? So answering to just writing 1 or 2 sentences about these 5 W's can quickly help you set up a nice summary in 75 seconds. So remember, answer 5 W's about the conversation you just heard in the last part. Remember, you cannot take notes, so you need to keep stuff in your head and stay as much focused as possible. One of the most exciting parts about Duolingo test, where they give you a picture and then you have to write a description about that picture. As always, remember, when we are going to talk about something, introduce something, describe something, we can refer to the rules of 5 W's. So look at the picture. Who are they? What are they doing? When is it? Where are they? And why are they doing this? Who are they? I see a man and a boy dressed in suits. So they're probably going to work or to school, or they're on the street. They're on their way to work or to school. And then it seems to be early in the morning. See, when you answer 5 W's, you're going to do a perfect job. Of course, grammar, vocabulary, all of these things are important, but we're going to talk about this in future lessons. I'm going to show you a way you can use AI to practice these and get the best from this section. Interactive writing is a very interesting part. Here you have to write more. You have to write 2 pieces of writing. First part, they give you a prompt. You write about it for 5 minutes. Then based on your answer, they will give you another prompt, and then you have 3 minutes to write about that. As you see, it's written here, the duration for each step. A lot of people are usually worried about the number of words, but what I recommend to you is forget about the number of words, because focusing on the number of words will distract you from the main purpose of this part. So what you have some instructions, a prompt. Look at the prompt here. The prompt is asking you to describe something, to write about something. All right. In this case, it's asking you to write about something that you have made with your hands. If you haven't done this, try to use your imagination. And here's important. It says describe the experience and the results of your work. Include specific details. So again, 5 W's can really help you to get started. But what you can do, you talk about the question, you introduce it, and then you offer as many details as possible. Remember, you need to keep half a minute to a minute in each of these parts to check your work. Remember, check the quality of your work matters more than the quantity and the number of words. Okay, so do not spend the whole 5 minutes writing. Start by answering the question, offer as many details as possible, and keep half a minute up to 1 minute for checking your work. Proofreading is really important. So remember this routine, practice this as much as possible. And remember, do not click next or continue in any part of the test. If your answer is not complete, make sure your answer is complete, then click next. Of course, keep an eye on the timer as well. Okay, again, here you have to talk about a topic. So you click on this speaker button and it shows the number of replays. Usually you can, when you see this blue color speaker, it means that you can hear that for 3 times. First time, and then you can repeat it for 2 times. And then you have some time, as instructions tell you, to speak about the topic. So for about like 20 seconds, you can hear the instruction, read it, and listen to the prompt. And then when the 20 seconds is over, your timer for 90 seconds begins. You're ready to talk about that subject. As always, start by answering and giving the most important information first, and then continue with details. Try to speak as loud as possible. Try to speak as naturally as possible. Do not rush it, and do not have a lot of pauses in the middle, okay? This part requires a lot of practice. I understand. Pauses can kind of affect your score, so be careful not to have a lot of pauses. So practicing is very important here. But make sure you speak as naturally and as consistently as possible. I'm not saying fast or slow. Too slow is bad, too fast is bad, okay? As natural as possible. Let it flow naturally. It will help you focus more and help you manage your pauses as well. As always, when you're ready, you can click submit to submit your answer. And remember that once you click, you are not able to re-record yourself. So this part, again, we have a photo. This time we should talk about it. Same as the writing. There we wrote it. Here we speak about it, okay? You look at the image for 20 seconds, and after the 20 seconds, the recording begins, and then you have 90 seconds to talk about it. As always, go for 5 W's. Who are they? Where are they? Why are they doing this? What they are doing? What time is it? What they're talking about? What they're actually doing? And make sure to give interesting, useful details about the picture. For example, you see that there are 2 kids here. They seem to be brothers and sisters. So these are all very valuable information. This part is similar to IELTS Part 2, the prompt card. So you talk about the information on the card. You have some questions. You read the questions very carefully. It's the same 5 W's that we discussed earlier, but about something related to you. So in this case, the question is asking you, talk about your favorite restaurant. Try to answer as many questions as possible, and always try to offer as many details as possible about your answer in those 90 seconds that are given to you. During that 20 seconds, make sure that you read this carefully and keep it in your head that, yes, I'm going to talk about this restaurant. Just think of all the aspects that you want to do. This is, again, one of those parts that require a lot of practice. Okay, this part is a semi-essay, I would call it. And you would have 3 to 5 minutes to answer this question. Again, the question starts with the word describe. And as you see, again, we have a lot of 5 W's here. Look. All right. So what we need to do, we treat this like an essay. We write formally. We make sure we answer all of the questions. We write at least 1 or 2 sentences about each. Don't worry about the number of words. Worry about the quality of your answer. I usually recommend that you keep at least 1 minute out of this 5 minutes to be able to check your work. All right. If you're a slow typer, this is something you need to fix for Duolingo. Practice typing. And if you seriously have problem with typing, reach out to me. I'll help you out. I'll teach you a few ways to practice typing and improve that. But remember that you need to really manage your time in a way that you can have some extra time to go back and check your answers. But as long as you answer most of the questions and you offer a lot of details, you are going to do a very good job in this part. The same goes here, but this time instead of writing, we should speak. Again, we gave a kind of a prompt. The response looks similar to what we usually do in an essay. So try to use a lot of reasons and personal points of views, and then try to support them with examples, statistics, and other information that you may have. All of this together will help you give a very good answer. As always, remember, speak not too fast, not too slow, as naturally as possible, and hopefully you will get the best out of this part. All right, folks. So we did an overview of all of the questions. In future videos, I'm gonna group these questions into categories, and in each lesson, I'm gonna show you how you can use AI to replicate sample questions for yourself and practice them at home, how you can get feedback from AI and practice for the day of the exam. We will also talk about ways you can actually set up your environment, and hopefully you guys will be ready for the test and get some good results. So if you have any questions, don't forget to drop them in the comment section for me, and I'll see you in the next lesson.